The time has finally come for me to leave Madeira. I know. But if you've watched the channel, you'll know where I'm going. If not, well, you're about to find out. And I'm going to bring you with me because why not? We can leave together. And to be honest, I'm a bit sad that I have to leave this because the place I'm going to first, let's say, definitely doesn't look like this. Blue skies, sun, about 22 degrees, maybe even more, 23 degrees today. And yes, for me, that is still a little bit chilly over here. But it is absolutely glorious for this time of year. And I don't want to leave. Well, I kind of do. It's exciting. It's always exciting, isn't it? So I thought I'd start by showing you what I'm bringing on my trip. And you can compare to what you take when you go on holiday. Because I'm going for 2 months. So let's see what I take versus what you take on a trip. Maybe your trip is a week, maybe mine is 2 months, as I say, but let's compare. Let's start with clothes. I'm taking t-shirts, and these are like, not anti-sweat, but they're quick dry t-shirts, good quality. I guess anti-sweat technology in there as well from Uniqlo. I take 7 of them. There's still some drying, so I did a wash this morning. 1 sports top to go with my sports shorts that I've got on now, so I'll throw them in the wash later, but always take a sports t-shirt and the sports shorts just in case I want to work out. Underwear, 7 as well, and socks, 7. Some like ankle socks for versatility, and then some normal full-length socks. Normally, I take 5 of everything and I do washes, but you know what? Where I'm going, it may be a little more difficult to find washes on the street. In places like Thailand and Vietnam, there are laundries everywhere, really cheap, that you can, well, essentially drop your clothes off in the morning and they'll be done by the afternoon. But yeah, it's not necessarily the case where I'm going. So I'm gonna treat myself to 7 of everything, or 7 of the essentials, let's say. Now normally, as I go to warm places, I normally just take this hoodie. Uniqlo as well, actually very warm. And it's versatile because it's about layering. When you travel with this little, it's about layering. So the t-shirt and then this, and then normally a thermal base layer. So it's about layering, as I said. But I've got this new coat, this new Timberland coat. Great color. I love the color so much, but it is very warm. So I'm definitely bringing this. And then just in case I go on a smart trip or to a restaurant, I have a shirt. Also, on the warmth, hat, just in case. 1 pair of jeans, 1 pair of shorts. I have to go light with that because they are quite heavy. And then over here, got my trainers, 1 pair of trainers. Sometimes I also bring flip-flops, but I don't think I'm going to be needing them on this trip. And then of course, very important, a laundry bag just to separate the clean and the dirty. And then these like neck scarves, snoods, or whatever you want to call them. I've got 2 of them, just in case. And then for the flight, I've got eye mask, a blow up or inflatable neck pillow. Those are really important. When you go on long haul flights, you see all these people carrying them or putting them on their bag. This is just annoying. So I've got a good quality blow up one. And all of that will go into this packing cube. And it will all go into this packing cube. I think very easily, actually, because there's not a huge amount of clothing there. Passports, of course, Italian, that's how I live in Madeira, and British, well, used to be British, it's faded. Wallet, of course, sunglasses, and then onto technology, I think. Now, this is essentially what I film with and what I take on my trip. You can see half of my bag is actually technology compared to the clothing. So, well, let's start with the old school technology. Pen. Always important when you have a visa form to fill in when you arrive. But I also have started taking idea notes down for filming. So that's quite good. Bring a notepad as well. Laptop, of course, MacBook Pro for editing and doing whatever else. Chilling, Netflix, YouTube, things like that. With that, a few bits and bobs like card readers and stuff. Obviously, the cards for the camera. Camera strap, DJI Mic 2. That's how you can hear me right now, I'm using it. A manual one, in case that breaks, so a manual microphone. SSDs for storage. The camera, I shoot on a Lumix S5 Mark II X. And then spare batteries, charger, a couple of accessories. Right now, I'll show you. Right now I'm filming on the DJI Action 5 camera. So, of course, spare batteries, the tripod that you saw, and then a few accessories for that. I have a drone. I have the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone with spare batteries and controller. I'm not sure if I'm going to take that. It takes a lot of space, and I don't know if I'm going to use it. I will definitely use it in the first place I'm going. Well, the first main place I'm going, but the others I'm not sure. So I haven't decided on the trips yet. I did a poll actually of where you'd like me to go in Asia, because I'm going to be 2 months in Asia, and the press trip that I'm going on is 1 week. So after that, I'm thinking of going to Japan. I can say that. I'm thinking of going to Japan, but then I have time. So I asked you guys on the channel in a community post where you'd like me to go. So if you have any comments of where you would like to see in Asia, please let me know. That would be really helpful. But I'm not sure about it. We'll see. Anyway, power bank and charging cable, of course. Travel adapter, very important. And it's got all sorts of entry points, USB, USB-C, and then obviously the different adapters. All of these kind of accessories will go in this bag. And then this one is just full of cables and chargers and things like that. I have usually just a small plastic bag with medication and toiletries. This is mosquito spray. It was just to hold it down. But I will fill that up, toothbrush, all of these things, medication, things, you know, things like paracetamol, some ibuprofen, things for your stomach like rehydration, antidiarrheals, but just things that you probably can get away, but if you need them now, right? So it's better to carry them. And then all of that, everything needs to go in, oh, I've just spotted this. I carry this everywhere, a little Buddha that goes everywhere. AirPods Pro 2 with noise cancellation, very important. Razor, these little ear plugs that keep them in. Top tip, if they tend to fall out of your ears, get these on Amazon. They're like £5, €5, and then they actually work, which is great. Anyway, all of that, everything, plus the couple of extra shirts, t-shirts, has to go in this bag. 40 litres, Osprey. It's a bit old now, it's about 6 years old, but it's done me well. I've actually bought a new one. I have a new bag waiting for me where I'm going. And because it wouldn't have got here in time, so I've ordered it on. But this bag for a carry-on bag, and I'm only traveling carry-on tomorrow, is fantastic. And then this is my kind of day pack, which I'll take out what I need with filming equipment. And there's the drone bag and just a protection bag for the camera. What do you think? 2 months? Do you think you could survive on that for 2 months? To be honest, I survived on this for nearly 2 years. Because you just end up, you don't need it, and more weight is more annoying. And then all you end up doing is washing stuff, right? And if I need something extra, I'll buy it. And well, I know some people travel with a lot of stuff, but I have definitely learned the skill to travel long term is take less. But if you're coming to Madeira, do you think, I mean, would that even scratch the surface? But of course, you have to make compromises when you're doing these things. Anyway, I'm going to get that all in the bag. That's the next step. And it's probably going to take me a little while because I hate packing. The worst thing about travel for me is packing. And the most annoying thing about that bag is that it all goes in perfectly. But if you want to take one thing out, you have to take everything out. And when you're moving, I'm packing and I'm unpacking and I'm packing and I'm unpacking. So these road trips get quite annoying. But it is undeniable that it is absolutely stunning out there. So when I'm finished packing, I might go for a little walk. I might turn the camera on for you guys. If not, I can't be bothered to cook tonight, so we'll probably go out for some food. And I might have somewhere that it will probably surprise you that I'm going to eat there. So either I'll see you on a walk, or I'll catch you guys for dinner. See you in a minute. All right, I had to turn the camera on, didn't I? I'm on my walk, got my podcast in. But it is a glorious evening. Not to rub it in too much, but I had to show you. It's nearly sunset now. And this is a very nice bike, Royal Enfield. Not quite as nice as my Honda Monkey, is it? But it's a very nice bike anyway. Anyway, I did a video, my last video on YouTube as it stands. But one of my previous videos was Sunday in Madeira. Well, this is also Sunday in Madeira, another side of it. In Lido, in Funchal, everyone's out with the family, kids, playing basketball, just sitting around, having a nice time. I love this like outdoor lifestyle. If you're not in the mountains, you've come out with the family, maybe having a drink on the terrace up there, playing sports on the grass with the kids. I like it a lot. But look at this. It's not quite sunset yet, but it is stunning. What's the date today? To be honest, I don't even know. Oh no, I do know the day of the week, I just told you. The date today is the 2nd of February. And this is how it looks. Absolutely glorious. And yes, I am being a wimp in the hoodie, as I said. But it is a pleasure to be here when it's like this, with the sun going down. I mean, there's even people swimming, or they've been swimming, in their bikinis. Ridiculous. I'm not that brave. That might be a bit extreme for me. Let's see if there's people swimming over here. But I am going to miss this, I must admit. I'm so not looking forward to going. No, this one's closed. You can also swim here. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the sunset, and then I will catch you guys for dinner. Be honest, how many of you thought I was talking about McDonald's? Not a chance, but maybe this one is just as surprising. We're not at some local restaurant, we're not eating, well, we are eating traditional Madeira food in a sense, because a lot of locals come here. We are at Madeira shopping centre to go to the supermarket, Pingados, but we're not just buying food to go and take home. We're going to eat in the canteen here, because you'll be surprised to know it's cheap and it can be good. At least one thing there I think is worth buying. So let me sneak past security with the camera and we'll go find it. I'm in, and we have the cafe. I did get stopped by security as soon as I walked in. I kindly explained that I just want to film dinner, and he was good with it. Anyway, you have the canteen. Sorry about the flashing lights, but if I change it, all these will be flashing. So you have a canteen here, big selection of cooked food, and it changes every single day. As you can see, we have pasta, we have meats, we have rices. There is a special meal of the day, each day, which will be $7.99 a kilo. And today's is fusilli. It's this. We're not going to be having that. It doesn't look great. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. What I am going to have is the roast chicken, $7.99 a kilo. And with that, you get the roast chicken, and you can have up to 3 accompaniments. But to be honest, it's actually not that bad. It's very good. Get yourself a plate and a tray, and we'll choose some chicken. And then, when you come to pay, you just weigh it on the scales, and obviously you just pay for the weight of the food. Boa noite. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where is the fruit and veg? It's not the healthiest dinner, though it is protein and a little bit of rice. But I have had 7 of my fruit and veg today, let's say that. Normally I try and get as much as I can out of the way at lunch, then I'm kind of free to have dinner. Normally for dinner, actually, I just have a salad at the minute. I'm trying to be healthy. But I did want to show you this, and it is a Sunday. It is cheat day, essentially. So yeah, we're on with the roast chicken, and I have put piri-piri on top. But he didn't have much, and when I asked him for more, he said no. Cheeky so-and-so. But I do like it. So $7.99 a kilo, 2 big legs and a little bit of rice cost €6. €6, not even €6. Absolute bargain. Who needs Nando's, right? Just need to come to Pingados. Now you can buy it to take away, of course. You don't have to buy it and eat it here. Or you can make it at home, of course. But in a pinch, when you want something to eat that's cheap and it's cooked for you, you don't need to do the washing up, whatever, just a quick meal out in Madeira, especially if you're in a hotel room. Actually, it's a pretty good option. The chicken is normally succulent, it's juicy, it's roasted nicely, and with the piri-piri it's fine, or you can buy something to put on it. It's actually good. I'm not going to say it's very good, of course, we're in a supermarket, but it's actually completely fine as a dinner, and lots of people, lots of locals do come here and eat it. and maybe not everyone knows about it, so I thought I'd share it in the video as a little tip. Anyway, I'm gonna eat up my dinner, finish my healthy chicken, and then I'll pick up with you guys tomorrow morning when we'll head to the airport. Have a good evening, guys. Good morning. Time to go. I'm packed, I'm ready. You can see I've got my backpack and a small little bag as well. Could probably get everything in the backpack, but I've got my lunch in there. It's another glorious day to be leaving Madeira, unfortunately. But I'm just about to order my taxi. So I'm going to take taxi. You can take a bus to the airport, but I am going to take taxi. Uber is cheaper than Bolt right now, so make sure you check them both. Much better than one of those yellow taxis. That was in one of my tips, in my tips video. Use the taxi apps. So I'm going to order that. All right, say goodbye to the flat. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao. And my housemate. The journey begins. Bom dia. Ai, ai, ai. Obrigado. Ciao. All right, made it. He was a bad driver. He was holding the steering wheel with one hand, driving the whole way at 100 with one hand, and then just letting go for the steering wheel to spin back round after he turned. Erratic and jolty and a bit stupid. Anyway, I made it safely. Such an easy airport to get to compared to other places. Just 15 minutes from the city. Anyway, into the airport. I'm hand luggage only, so I don't need to check in. I can just make my way up. Oh, wrong side. It's not very busy today, though. I'm sure it will be on the other side. But straight to security, where we won't be allowed to film. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Quick tip, though, if you do need food or a coffee or something, this is the place to come before you go. Saudade Madeira Cafe. A bit cheaper than on the other side. Snacks, baguettes, coffees. If not, the other side is quite expensive. Made it through. Even my custard apple made it through. Custard apple, should I say. Another money-saving tip, because we're all about that today. Water, just €1 straight after security. There's about €4 inside, so buy it here. All right, I'll show you the airport. Madeira duty-free, straight into it after security, like pretty much every airport in the world. It's not the biggest, but it has everything you need. It's a bit busy on this side, isn't it? That's where everyone was hiding. And now, this never used to be the case, but now Madeira is more popular. You have all of these travel shops. You can get pastel de nata. If you fancy your last one before you go, €2.10, pastel de nata, and there's more local produce here. Maybe this is the place to buy it, actually. There's well, I don't recommend buying poncha in the bottle. It needs to be made fresh, but you have bola de mel, the honey, mel de cana, chocolate, sardines, local wine, ginger, the cherry liqueur that you see at all the markets. There is poncha, look, but it's not good. It's not good like that. It's definitely not the same. And the shop's all right. And then the last thing, or the other thing, I'll just point out in the shopping section, is the local chocolate. Wow Cacao. They have a stall here. Amazing handmade chocolates. And actually, even here, it's not that bad. $10.95 for a box of 10 of those chocolates. That's a pretty good deal, I would say. Not on my fast. I'm fasting right now, as some of you guys know. It's morning, so it's definitely a fast time, so no chocolate right now. And my favorite thing about this airport, if you haven't been here before, it's quite rare these days, I think. Right next to the cafe, the eating area on the inside, you have an exit. You can get outside to, it's called a smoking area, but come on. Thanks. Thank you. And you can come outside for fresh air, which is what everyone is doing. And you can watch the planes land, you can watch the planes take off. Where's some space? It's busy today, everyone lined up. And there we go. So you can come and see everything, which is nice, especially if you have delays. You're not just stuck inside, you can come and get fresh air. Makes a massive difference. but overlooking the plains. If you're a plane nerd and you like it, how many do we have in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 planes? Anyone would think this place is popular. But yeah, if you're a plane nerd, it's quite a fun place to be. And actually up here, you can see there's a road. Up here is where there's some plane spotting channels. They're probably on now, right? Live streaming the planes taking off and the planes landing. But how many airports have this? I know some of them used to. I remember when I used to fly to Alderney from Southampton, airports had it, or the Southampton airport had this, and everyone used to rush there. You could get outside and have a viewing, well, there was a viewing gallery. But now, I can't remember in all of my travels seeing this elsewhere, to be honest. Not in the last 5 or 10 years, anyway. But my flight isn't here yet. Should be in 40 minutes. Also, I don't mind calling it out. You smokers are disgusting. Look at this. I mean, there's so many bins out here. There's bins over there. There's bins over there. There's a bin over there. How lazy do you need to be to smoke, or just disrespectful and just throw it in the plants? Rant. But I think a fair rant. If you're smoking, at least have the respect to throw it away. My ride has arrived. Just landed. Kind of gives a hint to where I'm going, doesn't it? It's only a stopover, let's say. It's not the full destination will come in time. All right, I'm through. It always happens. I go to the EU line, and the people who are working there are always like, wait, you're British? I'm like, no, Italian. And then when I walk up to the passport control, they look at me weirdly as well. I know I don't look it, but I do have the passport. Hola, bom dia.
Hi, bom dia.
Oops.
Aqui, me marca.
Sim. Sim. Okay, muito obrigado. See, she went with the Portuguese and English to everyone else. Maybe I like Portuguese and not Italian. Well, normally I don't do this, but queue to queue. Everyone seems to be priority. Anyway. Now normally, I don't really mind flights. I quite like them even. But when you see them in the news, like they have been recently, now I get a bit nervous. I'm sure it'll be fine. One last look. Why not? Touch it for luck. Sorry. Well, it's empty for now. What are the chances? It's going to be empty for the whole time now.
The yellow label must be placed in the seat in front of you. If you are sitting in the first seat, use an emergency exit to clear for takeoff.
Got myself an aisle seat.
Once you hop back to safely, so please make yourselves comfortable and keep the aisle clear for all our
Alright, fingers crossed. Let's hope it's empty. Order complete and free row, empty row. What a touch. That's going to make editing so much easier. Right, I won't bore you with the flight, but I will show you the takeoff. It's always a nice takeoff from Madeira. And then I'll catch you guys when we land. Home, kind of. Is it home? I'm not sure if it's home anymore, to be honest. But it's cold, Jesus. What have I come to? Winter in the UK, landed in London Gatwick. The flight was good for me, to be honest. Noise cancellation headphones are definitely a must on flights, because there was a kid, let's say, who cried the entire flight. 3 hours, 40 minutes. But to be honest, I just found it funny watching people get more and more irate as it happened and continued to happen. So that was quite amusing. But for me, lots of editing, smooth flight, can't complain. Let's see if they let me back in through passport control. All right, I'm into the country. They let me back in, leave on an Italian, back in on a British. That's how I do it anyway, it works for me. My next task is to get into London and across London and out of London. I'm going to go and see my grandfather who lives in Essex. And at 4:10, I need to get across London during rush hour, at least out of London during rush hour. Last time I had a big suitcase and it was an absolute nightmare on the tube and on the train. Luckily, it should be a bit easier with this. I've already had one person say, "Am I on your camera?" And I felt like saying, "No, but you're on that security camera." But I didn't, I was very polite. I said, "Maybe the back of you, but definitely not you, just my ugly mug." But it does make me laugh. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the baby on the plane? Because I was thinking, all of these people who are complaining and getting more and more angry, they've probably had kids before, right? They know that kids do throw tantrums and you can't really do much about it. As in, if you can't do much about it, you can't do much about it. You can do your best, but if the kid wants to scream, the kid will scream. So I just found it funny. I put my headphones in and I was editing, but it was so funny seeing everyone get more and more irate. Some guy was stuffing tissue in his ears, which was hilarious, and just shaking their heads and looking like, what are you gonna do? But then when it went on for the entire flight, then maybe the parent could do a little more. Because when I went to the bathroom, when I went over, I just went to the kid and it just stopped crying. But then obviously when I walked away, it started crying again. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, it'd be interesting to know your thoughts. And whilst you're on thoughts, what about the new haircut? What do we think of this? A bit chilly, I must admit. It's a bit frosty. I don't know how cold, but enough to get condensation out of my face, out of my mouth. Haven't had that in a while. Anyway, let's go through London. Oh, I made it. Crossing London in rush hour is not fun. How I did that for 10 years, I have no idea. Anyway, it's so cold, but I made it to Leigh-on-Sea in Essex. There he is. Your first time on the channel.
So I'm on there, am I?
Yeah.
Well,
My grandfather.
That's going to add a touch of class to it.
Yeah, maybe. How are you doing?
Very well. God, that train was on time, wasn't it?
Yeah, not very often, is it?
No, very unusual. It's the effect you have.
And dark, cold, miserable UK.
It really is cold. And it
Yeah.
really is miserable. So
Well, I left the sun, I left the blue sky, I left the warmth,
But now you've got me.
and now I've got you.
So
Right,
What more could you want?
exactly. Right, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Good morning. Still in the UK. I'm in a place called Leigh-on-Sea. I'm in my grandfather's house, or his apartment, which is quite nice. It's not a bad place to be. It is morning, and I wanted to turn the camera on and show you, because it's not just Madeira that has nice views. This apartment is on the Thames estuary, overlooking it, and has gorgeous views. He's gone now, actually. He's gone on a trip to Singapore. He's going to get on a cruise. He's going to go to Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, and then he's getting off the tour and going overland through India at 83 years old. Not bad, is it? Putting me to shame. But I've just woken up, so I need to shower. Look awful. Oh my God, it's cold, but look at this. The tide is in. Well, the tide is almost in. You can see in the estuary. But what a view. It doesn't quite beat my view in Madeira, I don't think, but it's not bad, I would say, especially in the morning light. You can get a bit of colour there. About 5 minutes ago, it was much better when I opened my eyes, but it's absolutely breathtaking. London over here, It's a bit hazy today, so you can't see it, but normally you can see London over there. Anyway, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna get up, sort myself out, and I'll take you guys down there, walk along the front to Oldley, show you the estuary. Just a little walk basically, try and warm myself up, get some steps in. But it's not a bad place to be, despite being in the UK. And all the way out there, well, you probably can't see it today, it's probably a little bright, but it is Southend Pier. Built in the 1800s when tourism, I guess, first started in Britain. It was an incredibly popular place for people to come. And in 1848, it was the longest pier in Europe. What a claim that is, right? But now not so popular. It's more of a tourist attraction, let's say. A famous spot. It's burnt down many times. Jamie Oliver, I think, has a restaurant out there. But this place is undeniably pretty on the Thames, on the estuary. You have, is it a beach? I'm not sure. But when the tide is out, it is a stunner. You have Kent on the other side, right? But a nice little place to come for a walk, I think. Down onto the beach proper. Found the beach. Who knew? Not quite the golden sand of other places like Alderney or the black sand of Seychelles, but it's pretty. And the best thing for me is the wildlife. If you like wildlife, when the tide goes out, this is the place for you, because you have all of the geese out here grazing. Oh, it's getting, my feet are gonna sink in now. Wellies or boots, I think. But you have all of the geese. God knows what they're getting, but all of the bits and bobs. You have oyster catchers, all sorts of things are out here. You can hear them, hear the sound of the birds, and I love that. Growing up in Alderney, the sound of the birds is nostalgic for me, the seabirds. And even the smell, because it's an estuary, it's tidal, you can smell salty enough, anyway, to give the sense of nostalgia. But down here, we'll come to the old town, Oldley, the cockle sheds, and all sorts of things like that. I don't think, it's a bit early, I'm fasting, so I don't think I'll be trying any. Okay, this is a big mistake. Muddy, what an idiot. And now I have to get back through it to get back onto the beach. What an error. And actually down here, you have all the shells. That's probably what they're grazing on, aren't they? Look, there's a little shell here. Nothing in it, already been eaten. There's loads, everywhere. But just how diverse this estuary is with wildlife, amazing. Oh wow, good timing. All of the oyster catchers, they were all there grazing. Oh, there's still a flock of them. But another flock came past and scared them into flying. Let's see if we can get out to them in a better way. I don't know if I could live here, but I must admit it is warming up now, which is nice. Maybe 8 degrees rather than 3. Don't know if I could live here, but it is nice walking along here. Everyone's out here with their dogs, doing their morning walk, avoiding work. They work from home. But it's the wildlife and it's the birds out their back. I don't know if they're grey and white. I don't know if you can see them. I just guess picking out the small shellfish and things like that. But later, you can see the channel here where the boats come up, but later the tide will come back in and it will come all the way up here and the river will be at its peak, and it happens so fast. In like 15 or 20 minutes it will rush back in, which is why you definitely don't want to be walking out there. Not bad, is it? At least there's blue sky. I brought that from Madeira at least. So this place, I did a live stream here once, one summer when I came down, everyone looking at me thinking I was an absolute nut job, filming myself, Osborne Bros Limited, cafe seafood merchant, and you can see all of the things that you can get here. You've got shell on prawns. It's a bit difficult to see through the glass. They haven't opened yet. Shell on prawns, shell off prawns, crayfish tails, crab sticks. What else do we have? Roll mops, and pickled anchovies, some smoked kippers and smoked salmon in there. Crabs, dressed crabs, $7.50, that's not bad. Whelks, cockles, potted brown shrimp in there as well, pretty cool. And you can get fish bun, scallop and bacon rolls. That sounds amazing. Maybe not for $17.50 though. Cockles and fries, that sounds amazing. But yeah, just a nice place to come down, especially on a weekend. This will be packed. Grab a beer, grab a drink, get yourself some fresh seafood. And on the tables, salt and vinegar, of course, which is pretty cool. But yes, I didn't want to make a full video of this place. I wanted to show you it just a little bit, show you somewhere that means something to me from my family living here and coming down when I was a child. And now I come and visit my grandfather here every time I come to the UK. Why not? I'll show you one more view of the estuary and then, well, I don't know where I'll pick you up, but I'll pick you up somewhere. Oh, wow. This is a pretty view. Look at this. Got the boats, beached boats, moored up against the dock there. The channel coming through as they come through, and the mud flats. Amazing mud flats. More birds calling out. That is definitely something I like down here. Boy Lukey. Nice. Absolutely stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And just like that, I'm in a new place. Well, maybe not just like that. 11.5-hour flight, 2-hour wait, and then another 4-hour flight. But after that, I made it to Taiwan. I'm in Taipei, in an airport hotel, because we landed late last night. And you may not think it, coming all this way for the exact same weather as in the UK. Well, maybe not. There's some blue sky there. A little bit different. I didn't film on the plane because, well, it was a long flight. And I thought it was going to be absolutely brutal. I do not like long haul. But actually, you know what? It wasn't so bad, I must admit. And I slept well last night. So it's going to be a nice little series. I'm here on a press trip, but it is going to be exciting. Thank you for following me from Madeira to the UK to Taiwan. Please keep watching. Watch this series. Stick with me. We are going back to Madeira, of course, in a couple of months. But there's going to be some great content from Asia, some food, some culture, some traveling. And yeah, just a little bit of exploring a new part of the world. Well, maybe for you guys. I've been to some of these parts before too. But it's going to be great. So I will say goodbye, and I will catch you guys in the next video.